Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, guys, we got Colin Cowherd ranks the best teammates of LeBron James' career. So we're going to watch this, see what his rankings are looking like. Then I actually have my top 10 list that I'm going to share with you guys. Apparently, there's a lot of drama going on with, like, Kyrie Irving and LeBron James right now. I guess, like, LeBron said something about something, and Kyrie said something about something, man. That's my analysis. So, yeah. Here we go. You guys want to give me your top 10 before we click on this video, pause it right now and let me know in the comment section below. Now, we do have to keep in mind, this is at points of time in which these players were playing, right, man? Because obviously the best player that was a player to ever play with LeBron is like Shaq or Dwayne Wade, but Shaq was washed up and Dwayne Wade, obviously was still a great player, but was not like in his absolute prime, right? So you gotta keep that stuff in mind there. Let's get going, man.
LeBron's had a lot of different teammates. And who are the people that he's really relied on or who have been with him briefly but delivered? The 8 best teammates in LeBron's career, which is now 17 years, I would say would be Ray Allen. Now, they only played together for 2 years, but he averaged 10 points off the bench, and he made the most three-pointers by any Heat player in those 2 years. He, of course, hit the legendary basket.
Okay, I agree with that. I think with Ray Allen, like, if you want to put him in that 8 spot, you can pretty much use him to represent, like, all of the play. I don't really want to say ring chase, because obviously Ray Allen was a big part of that Miami Heat team. But, really any of those veterans that were once superstars, all-stars, but then just kind of, like, towards the end of their career playing with LeBron James. Like, I feel like Ray Allen can represent all of that. But he was just the best of all those guys to do that, man. That makes sense. Like a Shane Battier, Rashard Lewis, players like that, man.
To save the second championship for Miami. So that shot
Mike Miller
is a big part of LeBron's legacy. Now, it should be noted, he didn't always play a lot of minutes. He was at the very end of his career, and he was only 2 years with LeBron, not 4 in Miami. But he makes the list. And LeBron's played with a lot of guys. The list this morning was 25 guys. I put him on the list because of that shot and because
there's a few I know he's going to forget about,
good,
for sure.
Reliable bench player as the league was really becoming a three-point league. He was the muscle. He was the muscle in Cleveland, Tristan Thompson. He may only average 8 points and 8 rebounds, but Kevin Love became more of a
Okay, I mean, Thompson's fine. I could probably think of some guys that should be over Thompson, but I got to see what the rest of the list is. My guess is that I'm probably not going to have Thompson. Well, I don't know. What's my list looking like? I do have Thompson on my... I have Thompson as number 9 out of 10 on my list. So, okay, I guess he definitely does belong. Let's hear him out. Why? I mean, Thompson's just... It's Tristan Thompson, man. That's all I got to say. I don't know.
Perimeter player, and he was the muscle on those teams. Remember, LeBron chose to keep him. They had the same agent.
To a bitch-ass contract,
though. Paid. They were always very close.
Like $17 million
a
season.
Kevin Love came on, had some injuries, and often moved out. Tristan was the reliable guy in the middle. 4 straight final appearances with LeBron.
What about Anderson Varejao
for the Cavs? A very underrated player.
Yep, Big Z's great.
Mr. Energy. He could match LeBron's energy up and down the floor. 8 combined seasons, 1 NBA final trip. Most games ever played with LeBron as a teammate. Did you know that? Is Zadrunas 100?
Quick story about Big Z, guys. So I was at a Pistons-Cavaliers game, probably 12 years ago or something like that, man. Maybe a little bit, whatever it was, whenever Big Z played there. And there was a play in which Rasheed Wallace elbowed Big Z in the head, and, like, blood was gushing down his face. You could probably actually find it on YouTube. And then what happened was they stitched him up. It was like a good 10-minute delay. Like, he got him real good, man. There was like a 10-minute delay. They stitched him up, and then literally the very second, like, the big screen, the cameraman put it on Big Z's face, just like, hey, he's good, man. The second it was on his face, big ass screen, the stitch burst open, man, and freaking blood was everywhere, man. It was like a damn game of Mortal Kombat or something. It was nasty as heck. But I was like, oh god. But that's my Big Z story.
24 double-doubles. Cleveland had a lot of unique players. He was a big. He ran the floor.
By Anthony Parker.
He was Braun's guy.
Candace
he was
Parker's
a pretty
brother.
Damn dependable guy for 8 years with LeBron.
Booby Gibson.
Kevin Love. Now we get into a Hall of Fame level player.
There's definitely
Kevin
players
was
he's
only with him
forgotten.
for 4 years, but they were 4 final appearances, and he made 2 All-Stars. Kevin had to sacrifice a lot of his game. Remember, he was a 25-10 guy in Minnesota, and then he became more of a perimeter guy. He was one of the league's best rebounders when he came in the league, but LeBron didn't need him for that. He
was Lauri Markkanen
space at the rim. But Kevin Love is also a bright, high-functioning guy. LeBron chose him, remember? They could have had the number one pick in
Andrew Wiggins.
Remember? And they didn't want him. LeBron went out and wanted Kevin Love. He
Can't blame
wanted
him on
somebody who could hit threes. LeBron saw the emerging importance of bigs who could score because LeBron was with Chris Bosh in Miami, who was a big who could shoot. So he went and got Kevin Love. Chris Bosh, who I think is a little better version of a Kevin Love, and they're both great players who were stars in Toronto.
He was more okay with
Minnesota.
this limited role than Love was.
Bosh's career was cut short because of an injury. Chris was a four-time All-Star with LeBron, averaged 15-plus every year with LeBron, and it should be noted, could have easily, if he was a selfish player, averaged 25 with LeBron. LeBron and Bosh are the only players to average 7-plus rebounds during their 4-year run together, which is saying something because Chris often had to guard the others big. He was often away from the basket. He's number 4.
I'm cool with that.
Kyrie Irving is such a great finisher. He
Kyrie
drives
at
me
3.
nuts,
Okay.
but LeBron's got his Cleveland championship because of Kyrie and that jumper. He is a tremendous dual-handed finisher. I think for his size, he and Steph Curry are the best.
I still think to this day, despite the drama between those two guys, as far as two guys' play styles and mentalities kind of fitting together, you know, assuming that Kyrie would have been okay with not being a leader and stuff, which obviously that part of it. But I'm just talking about two guys whose play styles and just like pros and cons just mesh well to make like the perfect duo. I think Kyrie's actually that guy, man. Like the way he played off LeBron James and the way that, because, you know, LeBron was obviously okay with being like more of like a passive guy at times. And Kyrie, you know, loved taking those big time clutch shots, and he made them and stuff like that. Made a lot of big shots throughout his career, bro. But like, as great as Dwayne Wade is, you know, those guys' play style. So, like, they obviously work as their two greatest players of all time, right? But two of the greatest players of all time. But just, like, fit-wise, Kyrie was perfect for LeBron James. Kyrie is the perfect second option. It's just he's a second option with a number one option mindset, and that's kind of where the difference makes, you know, really ended that duo.
He's remarkably gifted. Now, he's not consistent physically. He gets hurt. He can be a little flaky and drive you nuts.
A little crispy,
but you have to say this.
Can be a little crispy.
3 straight finals with LeBron, and he hit the shot after LeBron had the block.
His last season with LeBron, he averaged like 25 points, by the way,
to win over the Warriors. Dwayne Wade was really the emotional and physical.
No doubt.
Now, at the end of his run with LeBron, he struggled in back-to-back games. But remember, they set a new NBA record for longest winning streak in year 2. The energy was just insane. They won like 20. I forget what the number was. This was his best friend. He's the one that helped recruit him to Miami. And it really was the maturity of D-Wade to understand, I'm a little out of my prime.
That's a fair statement.
I'm going to step back. I'm going to let LeBron kind of run the show. I don't think a lot of players would do that. That was Wade County. I don't think a lot of guys...
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, I could not picture Carmelo Anthony doing that. Can you imagine if LeBron went to, like, New York? I think they probably would have had chemistry issues. That is a good point. But it's so weird, because even, like, when LeBron was on that team, LeBron was obviously the best player, like, his best season ever on that team. I still always thought of it as Wade's team, which was it's just kind of weird dynamic like that, but it's kind of how it was.
Have the self-awareness, the maturity, and the smarts to do that. But I'll tell you, the first 3 years, I felt the last year they felt a little old. Years 2 and 3, they were so athletic and so dynamic and so won. And Wade's also one of my favorite people in league history.
There you go.
I think it's Anthony Davis. Now,
AD number 1.
D-Wade was great, but he was not in his prime.
I agree with that.
D-Wade was toward the tail end of it. Anthony Davis is in his prime. He has been remarkable in the bubble. He has been a monster. Now, like Kyrie, he's had some injury issues, but in their first finals together and bubble together, Anthony, I think, is the perfect fit. Whereas Kyrie is a finisher like AD. Kyrie and LeBron weren't perfect fits because Kyrie resented the fact LeBron took the ball out of his hands. AD loves the fact he doesn't have to worry about that. Second highest scoring average, 29 points in.
Okay, so I have my top 10 list, guys. Let me pull it up on my end right here. Okay, so for my list, number 1, I'm gonna start up and go down. I also have Anthony Davis. to me, Anthony Davis is exactly what LeBron James needed at this point in his career. Just like that type of guy that could just carry a team by himself. Obviously, Anthony Davis also needs LeBron because we all know, well, on the Pelicans, AD couldn't really carry the team where he needed to carry him. But yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I have like a 2A, 2B type of situation, by the way. And that is a tie between Kyrie Irving and Dwayne Wade, because Dwayne Wade started off, really like his first season with LeBron, he averaged around like 25 points. Like, he was fantastic, right? But then as the seasons went on, he did take more of that limited role. Numbers went down a little bit. Had injuries and stuff. Was getting, his age was starting to show a little bit. But then with Kyrie Irving, it was the opposite, where it's like Kyrie, when LeBron first got there, Kyrie was still coming into his own as a player, but by the time, they got that they got that championship together, Kyrie was playing, his best basketball. So it is like a 2A, 2B type of situation. I couldn't really pick either one, but baseball off of what Colin said here about Dwayne Wade's maturity, I think that actually does give him the edge, so I do agree with that. Number 4, I do have Chris Bosh. Number 5, I have Kevin Love. Also pretty interchangeable if you ask me. Number 6, I have Big Z. Number 7, I have Mo Williams, guys. Mo Williams was like, I think he was actually on the All-Star team a season or two, something like that. Like, he was a really solid point guard alongside LeBron. He was kind of like a poor man's Kyrie Irving, if you want to be honest about it. But Mo Williams is really solid. Number 8, did I say number 6? Number 6, I had Big Z. Number 7, Mo Williams. Number 8, maybe not the greatest pick. I picked Larry Hughes. Now, Larry Hughes was actually really good before he got to Cleveland, and then he was like, okay, he kind of did struggle with like efficiency and stuff like that, so I would not be mad if you didn't have him right there. Number 9, I got Tristan Thompson. And then number 10, I got Ray Allen, representing all like the, ring chasers, although Ray Allen, I hate calling him that because he already had his ring, so he wasn't really a ring chaser, but, just he represents the old veteran that, came on a team in a lesser role and stuff, man. So that is my top 10 list. I think it was pretty solid. What do you guys all think, man? Let me know in the comment section below. Who did we forget? I mean, obviously, you can have like Anderson Varejao probably on there somewhere, maybe even a Daniel Gibson, but I don't know. What do y'all think, man? Thank y'all so much for watching, and peace out.